Previously on D&D Kinda.
He wakes. Benedict realized it is in the dead of night. He notices something in the boundaries of his sight. There they stood, 3 creatures. The nobleman yelled, "My good people, have I never had what was best for Neverwinter at heart? This town is at the height of its prosperity, and even as the sun raises to its peak, so does our good city." The nobleman looks at all this and he says, "So I implore you, if this is the journey you choose to take," and then all of you see a flicker of light, "I wish," and he is speared through his chest, and again, another time, through his throat, and he falls choking on his own blood to the ground.
We have news of the nobleman.
What did you say?
The nobleman. I watched him die.
The nobleman lies sick in his bed in his chambers. And as you are flying, you notice that there is someone that has been following, a half-orc.
I wanted to cast web on him.
So Hamilton sees his brother restrain this half-orc. Hamilton walks over and says, "And just who might you be?"
So you guys all walk down to where the nobleman's bed is. Sure enough, laying in the bed is the nobleman. The party looked around as their senses were engulfed with the familiar yet strangely disparate room. This somehow felt all wrong. Benedict neared the nobleman, though unwavering, leaned over the side of the bed and closer to the nobleman, and with his head next to the nobleman's ear, he whispered,
"We saw you die. Who are you?"
The nobleman turned his head and whispered into the ear of Benedict,
So, Benedict, you are kind of in shock, I would imagine.
Yeah, I'm pretty terrified.
Because that was something that you had been, regardless of everything that was going on with your father and going on with, the party is with the seal being broken and all that, like, still in the back of your mind from 4 or 5 days ago, you remember this thing in your room and you don't know where it went, you don't know how it got there.
Yeah.
And now it's literally right in front of you and it looks just like the nobleman.
So, me knowing that this thing is, it clearly has malicious intent from the way, there were 3 of them standing at the end of my bed that evening with blood dripping down their fucking claw hands, fucking Edward Scissorhands looking ass. And I kind of want to cut its head off, or at least try.
Okay. So, that's what you want. You just want to, like, pull back, narratively explain, like, how you want that to happen.
So when I go and whisper in his ear, and he flashes his silver eyes at me, I immediately know what he is.
Great.
I immediately grab my scimitar and cast my flame blade, and I want to take both the blades and in an X shape against his neck, and I want to make a big old slice down his neck.
Okay.
So I'm still right next to him, right?
Yeah.
I'd want to stop him from doing that because we're in his chambers and these people still think that this is the actual nobleman. And I'm assuming there's still guards in the room and this could be bad for us.
The guard that escorted you there is standing at the edge of the bed, and there are 2 guards that are standing watch at the edge of the room where it slopes down into the bedroom. Okay. And they are watching what's going on.
Oh, yeah. I thought they had left the room. Whoops.
Yeah, they're they're not in the, it's just a giant open room, but there's a slope down, and they stand guard where the slope goes down into the bedroom area. So,
okay, so what do you want to say to stop me there?
Benedict.
What is it, Topher?
There are still guards in the room. Do you think that this is such a good idea? We could have a massive battle on our hands because they still think that the nobleman is the nobleman.
Can the guards not see what? Look at this thing. This is not the nobleman, obviously.
Yeah, they can't see what we can see.
We'll tell them after I cut its head off.
I'd believe that we should do that beforehand and then cut its head off.
All right, fine. But my swords are staying on his neck. I don't want this thing to move.
That is fine.
And then, can I talk to is this thing going to make sounds? Like, is he going to speak to me?
You don't know. I mean, you just got to do what you're going to do.
Fuck. Does anybody else want to ask him a question, Hamilton? I told you about these things.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh,
Did I?
I don't think
I
you
don't
did.
remember.
I don't remember if I did or not, honestly. Through our telepathic ability, I want to tell you this is the thing that I saw last night at the end of my bed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in that case,
And can he like see what? Can I like picture an image and can he see like what I saw that night?
I'm not all that familiar with the telepathy that it has.
I don't think I would be able to do that, honestly.
So Benedict's the only one that heard.
Yeah, it whispered that right in his ear.
Okay.
Do you speak common, dickbag?
So it just like you're looking at him and his eyes are closed and he looks like a sickly nobleman just playing the role.
I'm not cool with that. Does anybody have?
Does anybody have any magic can get this guy to open his face again? This is fucking weird. Exposed dickhead. Cast.
I can. I mean.
Look
I mean,
through
well, I mean,
your spells.
Hamilton whips his dick out.
obviously, like I still don't believe this is a nobleman, but like as from everything that's happened right now, I didn't hear this thing whisper.
Okay, so
I want to like. I'm telling everyone what like.
I want to try to get into this dude's mind.
So explain to me how you would go about doing that.
I just want to reach out telepathically and try to like probe into his mind and see if I can get a response.
Does he have the ability? Like, are you using a telepathy?
It's just it's an ability.
Okay.
It's an ability. I can.
But someone has the ability to just not respond.
I mean, he doesn't have to yet. And if he doesn't speak any languages, then he wouldn't understand me. So.
Okay. But you could understand any language he has? How does that work?
Yes, I can telepathically speak to any creature if it understands at least one language.
Okay.
So as long as it can speak a language, we can communicate telepathically.
Okay, so what do you want to say to like initiate this? Like, so like you feel like you've connected to the nobleman for what it is. Obviously, you, the characters, or you, the people in this room, you guys all know that this obviously is not the nobleman.
Yeah.
So I want to draw upon my dark magic and try to veil my mind with all of the awful shit that I know, including all the weird things I've read about on Wikipedia. And then reach out to him and ask him, "Are you one of us?"
So when you do this, I'm imagining it's like your eyes are closed and you're like focusing on this.
Like I want when he senses me reaching out to him, I want him to sense my telepathic probe as evil as I can make it. Like I want to draw upon all of the dark, evil shit that I know about.
Okay. As you're doing this, you know you're connected to this thing and you feel its presence and you know that it is listening. And as you are reaching out and you ask this question, you are like, you're sitting there and you're focusing. I'm imagining Hamilton knows he's very attuned to what's going on around him. So he's like, his eyes are closed and he's like really focusing on this. And your head just fills with, not literal, but your mind just fills with fire. And you see the symbol of Baal in your mind. And it is overwhelming. And it is causing you to have an immense headache. And your head is literally heating up and you were sweating. And you see the skull like getting closer to you in your mind, and you can't stop looking at it. And as it does, as it gets closer and closer, are you doing anything, or are you just letting it flow? What?
I'm just trying to maintain control and trying to just like open a line of communication.
Okay. So I guess that's just, you are connected to him.
Right. But so like as this is happening, as I see this, I'm like trying to convince him that I'm also a servant of Baal.
Okay. So, the more that you think about this, like you're trying to convey this to him, that headache and that burning gets to the point where it's physically hurting you. And as this skull in your mind, as you are like just so intently trying to force this upon him, in your mind, as your eyes are closed, this skull gets so close to you, and in your head, you see the skull explode, and your father, you see him out of where the explosion of the skull is, and he swipes his staff, and you rocket back against the wall and smack the wall, and you are unconscious on the floor.
Holy shit.
Fuck.
Whoa.
So I walk up
Saruman's
to this bed and I pull out, I have a tinder box in my inventory.
About to light him on fire.
I pull out this tinder box and I start to light the bottom of the bed on fire.
Okay, so as you do that, the guards all like rush over to you and they tackle you, and they don't like hurt you, but they like stomp out whatever fire that you have started. And they the head guard yells and says, "What are you doing? You said you were here to help, not set him on fire."
I implore you, this is the correct thing to do.
As he's having that conversation, I go and pick up Hamilton.
I'm trying to get the guards to realize, I'm trying to make the thing do something that's out of character of the as the nobleman. I just basically verbalize why.
Go for it.
I think that I already did.
You didn't tell them why you think it is. You just said
You do not have my permission.
I implore you.
Yeah.
I justified my actions to you all like in context, but really I just told the guards that this was the right thing to do and that they should let me do it. And they haven't followed up like asking me why that I should do that, so I don't really have any reason to explain myself yet.
Okay, I would say that would be the next thing. They would the lead guard that brought you down here looks back and sees from his perspective the nobleman is just very sick, and he doesn't know what's going on. You guys told him you were going to make your best effort to heal him from what he's seen.
Yeah, I've got my swords against his throat.
Yeah, so I mean, like, there's a lot happening that they are just not okay with, and to this point, they're actually more angered, and I would imagine they probably feel a little disappointed at themselves for letting you guys in here and seeing what's going on, so they're going to take that frustration out on you guys.
I apologize. I should not have acted without your consultation. Although I do wish to implore you that this is the correct thing to do, and the person before here is not the nobleman that you've served for years. And if you do mind me asking, might I have your name?
His name is Liam.
Liam, over the past few days, we have spent a lot of time with your nobleman. And at the end of our journeys with him, we all saw him die. It is extremely odd to all of us that he is here before us. And we have exposed ourselves to dark things over the past few days. We believe that the nobleman laying here before us is indeed a masquerade of evil. We must do something desperate in order to make him react as if he was not himself.
So the guard motions his hand, and the two guards that were standing at the doorway now funnel to both sides of the nobleman's bed. One of them reaches over and grabs you, Benedict, on the arm. Not in a way that he's trying to pull you off, but just in a way like he lands his hand on your shoulder and like looks at you and just kind of like motions for you to come off the bed. So
I kind of also stand up and I put my tinderbox away and I kind of back up. And as I'm kind of standing kind of behind the guards that are now funneled toward the bed, I just pull my tinderbox out and I hand it to the guard.
As I walk over towards Hamilton to pick him up and if he's unconscious, I'd just stuff him into my backpack.
I knew you were going to do that.
But I have my shield out because it's my holy symbol, and I start praying to Mishkal. And since we saw the nobleman die, it's possible that he could be like undead. So I pray to Mishkal to channel my divinity to turn undead, which means that if he is undead, I present my holy symbol and speak a prayer, censoring the undead. Each undead that can see or hear me within 30 feet must make a wisdom saving throw. If the creature fails its saving throw, it is turned for 1 minute or until it takes any damage. A turned creature must spend its turns trying to move as far away from me as it can.
Okay, so this essentially will work if he's undead, won't work if it's not undead.
Correct.
Okay, so whenever you cast this spell, whatever is here is not undead.
Okay.
So that will probably tell you some stuff.
While these guards put their hands on my shoulder and try to like get me or tell me, like motion me off the bed pretty much, I want to persuade them and try to make them understand like this is not a person that they should be like trying to protect.
Okay.
Like this is not even a person really. Like this is fucking demon monster.
Okay, so here's how I want this to happen. I want you to narratively explain it, and then we're going to do our first ever group roll.
Oh, yeah.
So a group roll is going to be where you, Benedict, and Bartholonude are going to both roll a, what is the check here? A persuasion check to try to convince the head guard of what you guys want. So if you can the better you narratively explain what you want to do, the lower I will make this check.
Is it Liam that has his hand on my shoulder?
Liam is the captain that brought you guys into the room.
Does he have his hand on my shoulder either?
Yeah. No. The person that had his hand on your shoulder was one of the other guards. And again, he wasn't grabbing you and pulling you. He was just putting his hand on you since you were focused on his face and just like motioning you off the bed.
Yeah. So this guard has his hand on my shoulder and he's like trying to get me to come away from the nobleman gently. And I want to tell him,
listen to me very carefully. This is not the nobleman that you have come to know. Us as a group all saw the exact same thing. He died right in front of us. Spears went through his body. He was dead. This is not the nobleman. You have to trust us.
Okay. So that guard still has his hand on you, and he turns around and looks at Liam, who is just, he's really conflicted. Like he's still angry at you guys because you guys have pretty much just assaulted and tried to set this dude on fire.
So Benedict, I want to, now that I'm awake, I want to just get your attention. Benedict!
Yes, brother.
Our father's hand has been at work here.
How do you know this?
I saw him when I entered that thing's mind.
That motherfucker. Listen, Liam. This isn't... Nope. You gotta trust us.
Nope.
Our dad is a real dick. He's an asshole who will kill everyone. If this is his work, you guys are gonna have problems on your hands. The man you are protecting right now is not the nobleman. I saw his eyes. Days ago, he was standing beneath my bed with blood drawing down his arms, whispering some kind of demonic bullshit that nobody understands. We have to get him to expose himself so you all will know.
So Liam he's really kind of confused. Like, not as in like he doesn't know what to do. He just doesn't understand what you're talking about. Like,
okay. I want to telepathically communicate to the three of you. I'm tired of this. My patience is drawing thin. Get these guards away from the bed and let's do this now.
Give me 1 second and brace yourself, Hamilton.
So I walk up to the guard and I look at Liam and I say, Do you trust us?
It's not a matter of trust. It is my duty to protect the nobleman. He has been good to us, to my family, to this city. If you had been here, you would know.
Well, then I give you my word as a dragonborn, and I hold out my hand as if to receive something, that I will not harm him. And I expect him to give me back my tinderbox.
Daniel, I think you're picking
Yes,
up
he
what
gives
I'm
your
putting down.
tinderbox back.
Okay, and then I put it away to respect his will.
First, what I want to do is, so I went to pick up Hamilton. So are these guards like surrounding the bed?
So Liam is standing at the foot of the bed between you guys and the bed.
Okay.
Benedict is still on the bed, and at this point, I would imagine that the guard is trying to pull you off the bed. Okay. They don't want to fight you. They have
I don't want to fight them either.
And so they're just like motioning you, like, they have their, I'm imagining the way it's working is like he has one hand on you and he's like kind of pulling at you, and the other hand is like on his sword, and he's just kind of giving you the look like it's time. Like he doesn't say anything, he's just kind of giving you the look.
I'm gonna say one more thing to Liam. One more thing.
Okay, I want to let Daniel do his thing first, and then we'll jump back into that.
What are the chances that I could go and sit down on the bed? Like, would they let me go and like be next to the bed? I don't give a shit. I'm gonna start, because Hamilton's my book bag. I'm gonna start walking over to the other side of the bed that Benedict's not at.
Okay, so as you start walking that way, Liam like walks in front of you, and he pulls out. He has a sword at his hip, and he also has a long pike. And he pulls, just like the guys in the first or the second episode and third episode did. He pulls it out and he just kind of holds it sideways, not pointing at you, but just kind of barricading you guys. And he says, "I will not allow you guys to be any closer to the nobleman. Please respect our wishes." Well, and then he looks back at Benedict and says, "Please come off of the bed. We don't want any trouble."
So he's standing there between me and the nobleman, like right at the edge of the bed, and I'm going to cast command on the nobleman.
Okay.
So he has to make a wisdom saving throw.
What do I have to beat?
15.
16.
Fuck.
Oh, damn.
So Topher and I are standing like right next to Liam, who is at the foot of the bed, but he's not on the bed.
Right.
And then Bartholonude and the other guard are kind of off to the side of the bed.
Kind of at the foot of the bed right now.
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
Bartholonude is kind of very close to you guys.
Okay, but they're
And
both away.
The other guards are up near the headboards,
Okay.
standing on either sides of the bed, and Liam is at the footboard.
How big is this bed?
It's a nobleman's bed.
So it's pretty
like
big.
a California king plus.
So at this point, Benedict, you're still on the bed, right?
Yeah, I still want to say one more thing to Liam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brother, maybe just trust me here and just go with him away from the bed.
I will. If he just doesn't believe us, then yeah, I will. But I need to tell you, Liam, that I understand that you love the nobleman. Like, he has been good to the people. He has done nothing but care about this great city. But I'm telling you, the nobleman that did all of these things for your family is gone. This is not him. He is dead. We have the village's best interest in our hearts. We are trying to save everyone in this land.
So
There's too much going on for us to tell you right now, but I'm begging you, you have to trust us.
if it means the death of the nobleman, I cannot allow this.
He is already dead. He's gone.
I understand this is what you think, but you have to understand you are not the first people to be here. We have great auras and magic casters come. There are no magics at play here. There's nothing that we can tell greater clerics than of
Liam.
yours have been here.
This is not magic. This is pure darkness.
Then why would a cleric that we've had before not sense this? What proof do you have? Other than your word.
We're trying to give it to you right now.
We don't have any proof that he is not.
Then I cannot allow you to spend any more time with the nobleman.
So Hamilton wants to jump into this conversation Am I still in your backpack?
Yeah,
Okay. Topher, do you mind putting me down, please?
certainly.
I cast Create Bonfire on the bed.
Oh my god.
I jump off the bed.
I tried to warn you. Brother, I tried to warn you. I'm sorry.
All right. So the bonfire erupts on the bed. And you see the guards freak out. Their hands are like burning as they're like reaching in to grab the nobleman out, and they like pull him out of the fire, and he is like on fire, and he's not reacting at all, but he falls to the ground, and they like pat the fire out on him, and Liam draws his weapon and yells, and 3 more guards run into the room, and Liam says, "It is time for you all to leave."
Yeah, I'm not leaving.
I think we should take them to where we saw him die.
Okay, so what's going on with this bonfire?
So it's burning the bed. These bonfires, as Jed has explained in the past, are like 10 feet tall, and
They're 5. It's a 5-foot cube.
And what's the nobleman
Okay.
doing?
But I can make as many of them as I want. It's a
He
camp.
caught flame, but the guards pulled him out of the base of the fire, and he is scorched, and he has burn marks, and he is laying on the ground now, even worse off than he was before.
This is
from
already
the guards'
still closed.
So Hamilton wants to storm forward angrily at these guards and say, "You blithering fucking idiots. Do you not see that I just lit him on fire and he had no reaction whatsoever?
He is sick.
He is sick with evil."
And as you're talking, Liam kicks you in the face.
Cool. I cast Eldritch Blast on Liam.
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
Yeah, shit's about to go down. I see him kick Hamilton, and I cast Spirit Guardians in the room.
Okay. All right.
So the Spirit Guardians, like obviously the whole party is not affected because Vicewine's still outside. He didn't come in here with us.
So right now the guards are kind of at like a defensive stance to the nobleman, and they're kind of telling us to leave. So they're kind of all facing us, correct?
Oh, there's 3 to your guys' back, and then there's 3 in front of you guys.
Yeah, we're surrounded.
Okay. So I want to kind of slowly approach Liam and say, "I gave you my word that I would not harm your nobleman. Would you let me kneel before him and say a prayer?"
So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and let you do your a persuasion check here. And Josh, I want you to go ahead and roll a persuasion check as well.
That's
No.
an 18.
Okay.
I got 14.
Okay.
Pants down. I'll suck you off.
Just kidding. That's a one.
crit
I-
fail,
I got
bro.
a crit fail.
Yeah,
I thought it was a 7, but it's a 1.
So, Bartholonude, what was it that you said you were going to do?
I was just asking Liam if he would. I gave him my word that I wouldn't do him any harm, and I just asked him to let me kneel before him to allow me to pray.
Okay, so he ignores your request and you would assume that it's out of the fact that he just kicked this gnome. He knows that there's probably going to be some ramifications. Other guards came in, so that's what I'll take against for the crit fail.
Okay.
Benedict, with your 18, Liam, everyone is prepping for battle. Like, they are all readied up, and Liam holds up his hand and walks over to the nobleman, who is now laying on the floor, and the other two guards are like standing next to him, like crunched down next to him, making sure he's okay, and they're like tending to his wounds, and he leans down and puts his hand on the nobleman's head.
Whenever he does that, I cast Thaumaturgy on the nobleman and make ominous whispers come from his body.
So ominous whispers come off of his body.
Like from around him.
I like what you're doing, and I'm going to let it happen. However, I am going to have Liam contest you in a wisdom check. I want him to be able to tell whether or not this is coming from you or not. Because he's aware of your guys' abilities at this point. He knows you guys are capable of some decently powerful stuff. And I want to see in this wisdom check, if you win, he thinks it comes from the body. If he wins, then he is aware that you are attempting to trick him. You got a nat 20?
I got a nat 2.
You serious?
I was.
Well, I didn't roll much better. I got an 8 total. So.
Oh man! Damn it!
So, based off of how D&D works and the hard moves you can take, I don't want it to be where I don't want to do what I said I was going to do, because that's kind of like a hard move, and that would make him very resentful and not trust you guys at all.
Yeah.
But what I will do is make it to where this happens, and there are like soft whispers that come off of him. He faintly hears something, but then like turns around and like he just kind of brushes it off as the wind outside. So he puts his hand down on his head and he opens his eyes and like looks at him, and his eyes are like white because the nobleman's eyes are like rolled up into the back of his head. And he kind of like opens it and then like opens the other one, and the other 2 guards are just kind of looking at him like they're kind of confused as to what's going on. And then he just kind of looks back at you and shrugs.
So, to the rest of my party, we should go. But Liam, keep an eye on this man. Do not take your eyes off of him. We should not fight these people.
You're gonna have to fight me.
But listen, brother, we cannot persuade them to know what we know. The only thing we can do is get them somewhere where we can try to explain to them what exactly is going on. But somebody needs to watch this guy, yeah, for sure. He's not going anywhere. We will have our vengeance.
How many guards are in the room?
6.
Are any of them behind Liam?
Liam is standing closer to you by the body of the nobleman that's pretty badly burnt. And the other 2 guards are standing near the head of the nobleman. So they're technically behind him. Perfect. But he is not standing facing you all. He is leaned over with his back to you all, turning back to look at you. So they're not behind him, they're technically in front of him.
As if to leave by Benedict's order, I just kind of just start walking toward the door.
I want to cast Charm Person on one of the guards in front of him.
Okay, so...
and I'll cast it at the 2nd level, because I want to cast it on both of them.
Who? The 2 guards?
Both of the 2 guards standing in front of Liam.
Okay. So, they both have to make a wisdom
saving throw.
What's it have to beat?
14.
Just 1. That is a 17. That is a 13.
Perfect. So the guard that I have charmed, I want him to approach Liam nonchalantly and then viciously knee him in the groin.
Okay.
I'm toward the door by this point, right?
Yeah, are you just walking that way?
Yeah, I'm just kind of walking out.
After I send this command, I want to make it to where we are already like out of the building whenever he does this.
Okay, so you tell him like in
because it'll last an hour.
Okay.
So like as soon as we're like a long enough distance away, I want him to just knee Liam in the fucking balls as hard as he can. And then say to him that this is from Hamilton, bitch.
All right. That's fair. So you guys head out? All of you guys?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to be the last one out the door, though.
Okay.
I'll wait till everybody goes. Now, do the guards follow us out?
Liam and the 3 guards that came in follow you out.
Okay,
the other 2 guards stay.
How far behind me are they after I leave through the door?
They're all funneling like directly behind you. Like they're kind of like ushering you guys out.
Cool. Well, I'm going to cast Thaumaturgy as soon as I'm out of the door and cause the door to slam shut, regardless of if anybody's in the doorway or not. And then as it slams shut, I'm also going to cast Thaumaturgy in the room and cause tremors in the room.
As you guys are walking out, Liam is right behind you. And as he's like walking through the door, it like slams closed, like, and he's halfway through it. And it's like, it like pins, it doesn't hurt him because he's wearing metal armor. It just kind of like pins him in the door, and he's like really confused. And as he's like kind of pinned in the door, he feels like the room behind him like shake. And he kind of like turns around and looks back to the door and pushes the door back open. And he just kind of like looks in the room as the tremors kind of like come to a stop, and just gets seriously weirded out.
Good.
So he's on like high alert right now.
Can I like look over my shoulder and see that?
Yeah. I would say that given the fact that you knew what you were casting this, you did.
Okay.
So I kind of like, as we're walking out, I kind of try to get into Benedict's ear and tell him like once he's out of view to quickly transform into a spider and to crawl back up into the window.
Oh. Yeah, I'll do that.
So you guys are back outside, or are you
Like kind of as we're leaving between the nobleman's keep and going down the stairs and back down to the main hallway and down the staircase between the main hallway and the outside doorway that goes out to the outside where the courtyard was. I sometime between there, when I can get some solitude specifically with Benedict, I just try to like nonchalantly, as we're both looking forward, I just try to tell him something like that. And during the time of saying, you should transform into a spider and go back up on the windowsill and make sure the guards don't say something that could give us some information about them and any sort of mischievous plans they might have to hide the real identity of the nobleman.
Your words are making my ears vibrate, and it makes me feel nice. I will go.
And then I scratch my nuts and we continue walking.
your dragon balls. So you guys, the keep door opens up, and one of the guards that's in front of you guys opens the door and kind of ushers you guys out on the flat outside of the door, and then he closes the door behind you. So what do you guys want to do for real?
I'm a spider. I'm going back up to see if I can see anything in that window.
So while you're up on the flat, you want to cast, or you want to go druid shape? Mm-hmm. All right. So Benedict, you are a spider now.
I'm a spider.
So you guys, I'm imagining you guys are like on the flat outside of the door, and then you just, as soon as that door closes after it was just violently whipped back open via thaumaturgy, you just immediately wild shape into a spider.
Yeah.
All right. So now, as you do this, because web is a concentration spell, the half orc that you have contained becomes free and takes off running into the city.
He was bound with ropes too.
Yeah.
Well, he was bound with ropes, so he is now hopping violently towards the city.
Somebody get him.
And he is screaming, even though he's gagged as well. He is like, and he is drawing the attention of some guards that are making their way over to him.
How close is he to me?
You guys are still up on the, making your way down the staircase, so I'd say to the bottom of the staircase and back around probably like 25 feet.
But can I see him?
Yeah, you guys can definitely, you could like peer over the side of the stairs and see him.
Okay, I'm gonna cast silence on him.
So the guards like start to run up to Weisswein, and they start to like question him as you guys, I'm imagining, are walking up to the scene as well. And you casted silence, so they like walk into this bubble and they like start to talk, and they realize they don't hear themselves and nothing is happening, and they're really confused.
Good.
Hamilton also acts very confused.
So you guys are just playing it off like you have no idea what's going on. You're just like
Yes.
waving your arms back and forth like, holy crap.
So Benedict, you're a spider, right? Mm-hmm. Have you crawled up in that bitch?
Yeah.
What have you found?
I would love to know that, Bartholonude.
So once again, as you spider your way up this, and you look in there, you see that the guards have taken the nobleman, like up towards the top area, and you see them kind of carrying him, like out of the bedroom area and like up towards the other area. They had kind of have him like on like not like a stretcher but like a sheet, and they're kind of like carrying him up in like a little hammock kind of thing.
I want to follow them.
Okay, so you're just gonna kind of spider your way in there and see what goes on.
Yeah.
From the ground, I noticed it's been a moment or two since the spider disappeared from line of sight in the seal of the window. So we're just outside of the door. I go over and climb up my steed's back and get on its neck and kind of just
Is the steed
sit
still
right
there?
up. Yeah, oh yeah.
I'm having a really hard time as the DM keeping track of everything that's going on, and
If it's not, we do have a telepathic bond. Like, I mean, regardless of how you want to conceptualize that for yourself.
well, I'm talking about like specifically the guards. That like they can't hear anything. There's a giant spectral dragon like chilling up against the wall of this keep, and it's very concerning. So the dragon like goes back up to the window.
Yeah, and then
And
I
you
kind of climb
well.
up.
Okay. So the spider, you are currently like climbing across the wall, I'm imagining.
Yeah, I'm following those guys to wherever they're taking the nobleman.
They bring him over towards the frog statue, and you see him drop the orbs. Both of them go and drop the orbs into the bowls, and the frog statue moves, and they just kind of like go down the stairs with the nobleman.
I'm going to follow him down the stairs.
Okay. So you tuck away into under the frog statue, and the frog statue closes behind them, and they take one of the orbs with them.
Oh, shit. How does that work?
Huh?
Fuck it.
They grabbed one of the orbs before it was closing, and it started to close because the orb was gone.
Okay.
And it is now dark. All right, so Bartholonude, I would imagine that if you're just standing in the window, you could not see this.
I wasn't even looking into the window. I was just kind of chilling on my dragon's back. I hadn't looked into the window yet. I didn't want to be seen.
Okay.
I want to
just trying to-
telepathically communicate with Hamilton and tell him like where they're taking him and where I'm going.
So that is like what, 30 feet, 40 or 60 feet?
I don't think that you're.
Because I think that before, when you were in the bedroom,
900 feet.
and that we wouldn't let that fly before. I definitely think you're further in than that, and it's probably not going to work. So you try to like reach out to your brother, but you're just getting nothing.
All right.
Just like in real
You
life.
are a small piter trapped under door. You just continue to follow them.
Yeah, I want to know what they're doing.
All right. Back outside. The guards are getting kind of frustrated, and they're coming to the realization that there's some kind of magic at play. So once they kind of come to the conclusion that there's something going on, they don't draw their weapons, but they kind of like grab the half orc and kind of like start to pull him away from you all. They take the guy, the half orc, and they kind of drag him like backwards until they realize they're able to like speak and make noises. And they just kind of like stand, and you can see them talking and at you guys, and you guys can't hear him. You guys just,
I kind of want to get the fuck away from this keep because I feel like nothing good is happening here.
Yeah.
Cast bad lip reading.
I kind of want to just leave that dude and just fucking dip.
Yeah, because
like
if
that
they
dude
could-
being your brother, it's just like abandoned in here.
No, not Benedict.
the half-
he'll figure
oh,
his shit
okay.
out. I'm talking about the half.
Yeah, like he tried to steal stuff from us. So
This
if
is
the guards
not-
take him and he's still bound, fuck it. Who
Yeah,
cares?
it's kind of nice for them.
Yeah, I guarantee you this is not the first time that Benedict has been stuck on his own in a bad situation. Like, he'll be all right. He'll figure it
Yeah,
out.
I'll figure it out.
Okay, so I walk out of the silence bubble, and I'm assuming as this, as everybody else does, I'll just say that. Topher, maybe you should put me in your backpack, and I think that we should all get out of here. Benedict, he'll be able to figure things out on his own. He's done this many times before. So I don't really think it's a good idea for us to hang out here much longer. We've kind of made a whole lot of people in this area not very pleased with us.
Yeah, I'd say we should probably go, but what about your brother? He hasn't come back out yet.
Topher, he'll be okay. We've done this many times before. We've fought together and on our own.
So we're kind of talking about him now, so I just peek up and look. What do I see?
Nothing.
I'm already down there.
There
I
is
see
literally
nothing. There is a
cavern
cone of
of
darkness.
blackness.
No
you
light.
see
Somebody
you
cast
see
blind.
a smoldering on fire bed.
Okay, so there is no specification in the spell about this.
Nope.
So I will have to defer to you.
It's not gonna
But
work.
it has only been, 10 minutes since we left the castle, if that?
Probably not even that.
Probably not even that. That guard inside is still charmed. But what I'm looking at is I want to tell him, forget about kneeing the dude in the balls.
Can you do that? Like, can you telepathically communicate? Oh, that's what you're asking.
I don't know. The spell itself, to cast it, has a 30-foot range
Okay.
to succeed on it. So I don't know if I can just be like, hey, dude. And now I did cast it at a 2nd level, so that's a thing. But either way, I want to just, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to just, reach out to him and just be like, hey, forget about kneeing dude in the balls. Look for the spider. Look for my boy, my broski, and be like, hey, we're fucking dipping because shit's getting wild out here. Look for us, outside of the city.
Okay. So,
Turn into an owl or some shit and fly out of here.
I want it to partially work, but not really. And here's why. I want you to be able to reach out, because normally I don't think that's how that spell works. I think if you're within range of this individual, then it should work. But also I'm okay with you telepathically communicating with him, but also only in the event that that person is within your range of telepathy, which is 30 feet. So I would say that normally if he were still in that range, I'd be okay with that. But given that he's outside the range, and at this point, I would imagine far outside that range. You know what? Make a check.
Okay.
Make an Arcana check. Or you're a Charisma build, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's make a Charisma check. Just straight up and down Charisma check.
24.
All right, yeah. I'm going to let it work. Hell, let it work.
I've kind of peeked up into the window and I noticed that I don't see any spiders nearby. So I kind of just look back and motion to you all that I shake my head no. I was like, I don't see them.
So I yell up at you, Bartholonude,
Yes.
come here.
True. And I slide down the steed's neck and land by you.
I still have that guard charmed. I'll deliver a message to Benedict. Where would you want him to meet us?
Well, we do know where this passage leads.
That seems a dangerous path to travel for one person.
Yeah, he's not that important. Well, the thing is that might be the only way for him to get out.
It's not. I just want you to know that it's not. You guys should just stay there.
I'm not staying right outside the keep.
Yeah, I mean, stay
Close by.
He's like, this is Josh here. Don't do that, guys.
Well, you can't tell us that because you're not close
I
to
know.
us.
I know.
It's the way around. I don't give a shit. You can't go to my house. It's crushed.
You guys should just go help him rebuild his house.
Well, we need to make a decision, so where are we going?
Are you asking if there's anything around the keep?
Yeah, do we know of any places around, either a bar or a shops where we could look at weapons or things like that?
Yeah,
just look around.
No, that's fair. So right the nobleman's keep is like right in the center of town. So like surrounding it on all sides other than one are just lines of buildings. They kind of like all meet in like a focal circle. So there's like 5 or 6 different streets that you could take to go down different alleys with different buildings. And yeah, there are various drinking establishments. There are various stores. And the stores are pretty well segmented. There's stores with that are focused around magics and focused around specific spells that you could purchase, specific weapons, crafting items, packs. I mean, anything that you could want.
Let's reword that question. What are like the really well-known hangouts? Like bars, restaurants, places to go. Like, is there a Chili's here? Is there an Applebee's? Can we
but
get
there isn't
2 for
at
$1
Chili's.
Tuesdays.
God, is there 5 guys?
All right, so there are 7 shops within your guys' vicinity. All of them sell a various number of different stores. Most of them are named after...
These shops still stores?
Huh? I'm sorry. That fucked up there. There are various
Fucking like
stores.
this giant
and
IKEA. I
all
want to buy a Walmart.
It's a store vending machine.
That would be 5 gold pieces, please.
Each of these shops sells various different items. Like I said, some focus on magics, and I've already explained all that. But there are also a various number of establishments, and the way that this works in Neverwinter, it's not so much that they're just general bars, but there's a lot of these establishments they focus around specific like races. So like everyone knows like this is this bar is meant for like gnomes. This one is meant for like dragonborns and things like that. It's just
I am getting fucking triggered.
no, and people can come and go, but it's like, occasionally you'll have
Only
like
if you're the right race.
yeah, so it's not necessarily race. It's like, so let's say like at the Dragonborn bar, there are humans there. There are orcs there.
They just have their own water fountain.
Oh my god. No.
Humans only.
But like if at the I shouldn't say orcs because like natively like certain dragons hate certain orcs. So like it's a
So
dragon.
it's like Alabama.
God damn it. But yeah, so there are various ones of these around within your vicinity, within walking distance, within 1,000 to 2,000 feet. There are a lot of these establishments. This is a business district. So now, obviously, it's entwined with like large homes and things like apartments and things like that. Just multi-layer buildings that are just structured that way. A bottom floor being stores, and people live in the upstairs and bars and things like that.
So would there be one like big go-to well-known hangout spot to just like drink and hang out? I don't even really care where it is, and I want us to go there to rendezvous with Benedict.
Okay, the Barrel Tavern.
Guys, we're gonna go to the Barrel Tavern. Now this is me telepathically talking to the guard.
Ooh, tell Benedict to go to the Barrel Tavern.
Okay, so here's how that's gonna work.
This guy's gonna be a dick.
The guy is going to communicate. Well, he's charmed, but he's going to communicate back to you. All right. And the sound that he makes when he communicates back to you is like the.
Oh, fuck.
Guys, I think we might have a bigger problem on our hands.
And he is still charmed regardless. You just can't understand him. I would imagine that by you saying that, are you communicating to him that Benedict is behind them and is a spider? Because
He
he
never
did.
said that. He just said to tell Benedict.
No, I definitely would have communicated that.
I was gonna say if he would have.
I absolutely would have communicated.
So he is charmed for an hour though, and it's been only like 5 to 10 minutes. But I'm imagining you probably also. I don't really know how to. I'm gonna give you the opportunity because I want you. You would have thoroughly thought this out whenever you heard that. I'm going to give you the opportunity to restructure how you are going to communicate what you want to tell. Whenever he comes back and communicates to you, like in that voice that is just pure evil.
Can't you
Well,
charm
I've
that
already-
thing to use common language?
I've already said no. I can't. No, I've already said to him that, like, hey, Benedict is in the keep. Find him. He's a spider. Tell him that we're going to meet here.
Okay.
So that's kind of already happened. Like, I can't really take that back.
Okay.
But they don't know that I'm behind those guards. Because you don't know where I'm at.
I don't know where you are.
Yeah, they just know that I'm in the keep and I'm a spider.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you are following them, and they're carrying the nobleman like down into the basement, and I would imagine they're at the bottom of the stairs, and they pulled that lever, and the bookcase opens up into that underground cavern, and they kind of like walk in there, and you're still a spider scurrying your way down the staircase,
Keeping a safe distance.
right? So you kind of like work your way into the room as they're walking back towards with the nobleman, back towards the back where like that glowing red skull came up out of the floor.
Yeah.
And then one of the guards stops and drops the nobleman into like the other one's arms and turns around and is like, you see him, and like his eyes are just like silver, and he's like scanning, looking for a spider.
Okay.
So you can tell he's like looking for you. Now, obviously, it's dark and you are small, so like him, like, he's not gonna see you.
Yeah,
I'm not even gonna make him like do a check for it because that would just be ridiculous.
Yeah.
But he's actively searching. He's charmed, and he's not doing it maliciously. He's doing it because he is charmed, and that's what he's been told to do. But you don't know that.
Yeah.
So,
All right. So I'm gonna sit there and be quiet.
all right. So back to you guys. You guys head on over to the bar.
Yeah, my biggest concern is like
I
this.
don't know that we do
Well,
at this point.
That's fair. That's completely
so
fair.
we're outside. Like we were outside of the keep, and we're just gonna dip. And this dude that we had like tied up, we just kind of like let him go with these guards. And what really happens with that?
So,
I don't want it to seem like it's just.
I definitely think that, like, I would have, like, Hamilton needs to communicate to you guys what he knows now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Guys, that guard that I charmed, I think he's one of them. And I might have just told him that Benedict was in the castle.
One of them, as in.
Like, one of them, the bad ones. The silver eyes, the evil, the crazy voice.
So I jump from the back of my steed up into the window, and I cast Breath Weapon at the frog.
okay.
Topher, I think we should probably go up the steed.
Okay.
Please carry me.
As you guys are traversing the steed,
God damn it.
the guards with this half orc start to like yell at you guys, and because you guys are climbing something into the nobleman's bedroom, and they start yelling for more guards.
Getting real sick and tired of these fucking guards.
It's their job. You guys are just like not giving a shit about the fact that this is a protected area.
How far away are they from me?
I'd say probably 15 to 20 feet in that range.
I want to cast Create Bonfire in a circle around them.
But I thought it's a 5-foot cube.
It is, but it's a cantrip, and I can cast it as many times as I want to.
So you just want to create like 5
Lots of
bonfires.
Bonfire.
So essentially, you just want to engulf them so they can't move.
Yeah, I don't want to hurt them. I'm getting sick and tired of their shit,
Okay.
and I just want to enclose them in fire so they can't move.
Okay. So, all right. Like 5, 6, 7 bonfires, all of them with it like 5 feet thick, just like encircle them. So there is like no way out of this fire other than to go through it, and they are all just standing there. There's 2 guards, and they're there with the half orc, and they are just.
And Hamilton casted that from the backpack of Topher as he's climbing up the steed.
Yes. Yes, like I heard them yell and just looked over my shoulder, and I was like, motherfuckers, and just with my staff just pointed it backwards and was just like, bonfire.
I hate you. All right, so they're there, and you guys just leave them there and then go?
Yeah. I mean, they're not going to be there long. The duration is a minute. But
Okay.
it's long enough that I can just, like, not have to fucking worry about these dipshits.
All right. So into the keep you guys go. Bartholonude, you were there. You casted breath weapon. And so you just like spray it with acid?
Yeah, I'm just trying to corrode the tunnel door to...
So this is a massive statue, if you
I thought
remember.
just a minute ago it wasn't like much taller than me. When
I
was
said
about
it
to
was
climb
about half your height, or you were about half its height.
Oh,
It's
okay.
about 15 feet off the ground.
Well, I'd still breathe all over it.
Okay. Like obviously it like the stone starts to like corrode a little bit, but like very like maybe like centimeters, millimeters into the stone. So not much of an effect.
That sucks.
How far are they away from me now? How far
You're
am I down
all
there?
the way down those stairs. And then you're into that cavern. So I would say probably like 50, 75 feet.
50 to 75 feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe even further than that, because they're like, you went from the top floor all the way down to the basement. So,
Are Topher and I in the keep yet?
yeah, I would say at this point you've...
So we
made it
can
through the window.
probably see the frog statue and that
Yeah.
Bartholonude is breathing on this thing.
And even if you can't, I mean, I don't see any reason why, if I said no, you wouldn't just be there next. So,
Topher, I think we need to get under this frog statue. You wouldn't happen to have anything up your sleeve that might help us?
I'd hold my arm up and look up my sleeve.
Topher, you fucking idiot.
I got some armpit hair.
That actually never grew.
forecast armpit hair.
Just like a fucking bunch
Hamilton
of
Statue
is-
snakes.
opens.
Hamilton is perplexed by the number of alien tattoos.
I mean, the last time we went in here, we used those orbs, but I only see one of them. That's what I believe opened up the secret door. But
The
no,
only choice we have is to cut the remaining one into half.
into half.
All right, all of you make a history check. Or, I'm sorry, an insight check. Other than you, Benedict.
Yeah, I'm
obviously.
Heard it was history. It's going to be a 17.
19.
Nice.
6.
17, 19, and 6. All right. So, Hamilton and Topher. Whenever you guys were here days ago, you recall that in the basement when you were down there on the platform where the nobleman fell to his knees, there was a staircase behind him that appeared to go back upstairs.
So there's
You
another way
also
down.
know that there were multiple doors on the first floor of this keep that were closed that you guys never went through.
Because they were locked.
At night, when you were there before, yes.
Okay, well,
You guys recall that.
I guess we should try to find a door that leads down in here, I guess.
I don't think we have much other choice.
You both say that out loud, and I like realized that that's a way better idea than what I was thinking. So I'm like, that's a great idea.
I don't think we have much time to spare. We'll waste a lot of time here trying to move this frog statue out of the way. We should probably just try one of the other ways.
I agree.
Are we trespassing? Should we expect resistance?
But Bartholonude, we are definitely trespassing. And I would suspect that at some point we are going to be resisted.
So be it.
I mean, I could...
Topher,
Yeah.
do you have a disguise kit?
I don't know. Why don't you look through my book bag and tell me?
I might be standing on it.
No, I don't.
Well, I do. Perhaps I should disguise myself as a guard.
Why don't you give your disguise kit to me and let me do that?
Well, I have proficiency in it, and I also have a false identity that I can assume at any time.
I'm assuming that not all the guards are one single race.
For the most part, they really are, but it's not because, like, for any particular reason. Like, there would be others, but you have not seen any gnomes or dwarves that are guards.
There's
So-
first time for everything.
So I want to...
They're all
Suit
of
up, Hamilton.
all of a taller stature. So,
I want to disguise myself as a human guard, but a very short guard. I'm the youngest guard.
He's a prodigy.
Oh my God! Could it be like Bring Your Child to Work Day? And I could pretend like I'm a guard. And he's my son.
I'm Liam's son.
Have you seen my dad?
Have you seen my dad?
No, that's actually perfect. That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Disguise yourself as a child.
I'm Liam's son, and I'm looking for my dad.